let's get straight to it. I'm so excited. So Domina, thank you for being here. Thank you
My
for being
pleasure,
here. It's
Ethan.
great to
Thanks for
it's great to have you.
inviting me.
I had to with all the things that you do at such a young age. It's impressive, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just connecting and speaking with people with unique stories that have a lot of value to share with the people that are watching also this here on Instagram and listening on Spotify. I'm just gonna ask you straight away. Tell us a few things about yourself and how do you identify yourself as? I've seen that you're a composer, singer, songwriter, and let us know about these first things.
So, above all, I consider myself to be a storyteller. Um,
Hey,
so, I really love to share my stories through music. Whether
yes.
this is through composing something, or orchestrating something, or by writing a song, or by singing a song. It's like it's all all the same to me, as long as it has to do with music.
hmm Storyteller.
hmm and this might
And what?
explain like the reason why I've written a book. I had written a book when I was 18. Um,
We
so
should talk about it because I don't know much about it either. I want to dive into this part of your life a bit just to know you better.
sure. Yeah. So I tell my stories through all these different means.
And what is one of the things, one of the messages that you share in your stories? Every story has a message, right? Or it doesn't have to have one.
Um, well, it depends because I'll tell you
What's the
what.
story? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to share my truth in each different way and through each different story, whether this is something that I've written or whether this is something that someone else has written and I
Mm.
am there to interpret it some way.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel it and you want to share it because it gets you. It makes sense.
Yeah, so there are different truths in every story, and this is what I'm
So,
trying to share.
so your intention is to share the truth,
hmm My truth.
uh, your truth, and your truth is what?
It's
What is truth to you? It could be
it's
a lot of
just
things. For me, let me give you an example. Truth for me is love. The truth is hidden in love, and love in all different ways. But above all, because love is the frequency of existence, it's our it's the state that we were supposed to be. If you take out all the stressing factors, if you just come into alignment into your center, this is the state that you are. So in a way, love is the truth for me. And what is the truth for you? Where do you find the truth, and what the truth does to you when you get it, when you get there?
so for me, truth is found in originality. I would say in being yourself and trying. I think that everyone's trying to figure out who one is. So I guess that I, I'm
Yes,
I'm just searching for it through.
yes.
And to be honest, I'm not sure I have found the definition to truth or whatever. And I'm not anxious to find it. I mean, I have a lifetime, and as long as I live, this is a reason. I want to explore.
To search it. Yeah. That's beautiful. We're all here for, I believe, the same reason. To explore who we are and express our truth. Our individuality is a gift. And an artist must share this with the world. It's kind of like its own obligation to the world to share his truth and enlighten the world with his light, which is hidden in the truth. So you were born and raised in Athens, am I right?
No, I was
Great.
born in.
Okay.
I was
Tell
born.
me.
I was born and raised in Hania, Crete, an island.
All right.
I guess you've told me you live
Yeah.
there.
I live in Rethymno. I didn't know. That's why I don't ask questions before the podcast, because it makes it even more interesting to find out at the moment that I'm asking. You know, it's a surprising factor. Keep going.
And I moved to Athens when I was 18, but I can't say I really stayed here for long, because I immediately started auditioning and traveling and that kind of stuff, because I wanted to get accepted to a university abroad. After that, I was. And in the summer of 18, in the fall of, towards the fall of 2008, in 2019, I'm sorry. Back then, I moved.
So before we go there to the music studies and the book, I want to know your first steps and your first touch with music. And
yeah, sure.
Your first memory of how music, how powerful was of your experience with music, and how do you remember yourself as a young kid to interact and be with music?
So it's a bit funny, because no one in my family has a musical background or anything. So
That's great.
Yeah, so I had a cousin that she started playing the piano when she was, I guess, 8 or something. No, younger. Anyways, and when I first heard the piano, I just immediately fell in love, and I was like, I want to do this. And but then,
How old were you?
If my cousin was 7 or
Was
8, I would be
Yeah.
5. But
That's
but the musicians in the island I used to live told me that I shouldn't take any music lessons before I reached the age of 9. So I waited and waited, and when I was 9 years old, I started my piano classes.
When you passed the age of 9, and that was supposed to be accepted by the other people to just go and study music, you started. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I started, but around the age of 14, I discovered that I also loved to sing. But because I was pretty good at, the classical training, my teachers were very strict. Like, we shouldn't do any contemporary repertoire or anything. So I felt like this was very limiting. So I left.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sure.
This first 5 years, from 9 until 14, you were training. You were having a classical piano training.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Great. Keep going.
then I decided to, leave the conservatoire and take private lessons. So I can also do the contemporary style that I wanted. But then again, I faced the same problem, because when my teachers discovered that I was good enough for the classical, they wanted me to have this approach. And they were, they were putting so
Pushing
much.
you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't want that. Like,
Yeah.
I believe that it would have been very different if they weren't just so pushy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
It's kind of yeah.
because later on, when I started studying the classical repertoire, and I fell in love, and this just happened like a couple of years ago. So yeah, I believe it's
huge. This is really huge. We're talking about here about I think it's called, like, people talk about this and they refer to it as projecting their wishes upon you. They see something that, and it's weird. It's just, it takes you off. I know people that have stopped music because of this kind of pressure, because they don't want to deal with this pressure. And we need to be free. We really need to be free to just do what we want to do. What we want. You want to sing, you sing. You want to play the classical music, do it. It's essential for our well-being to do what we want.
I believe that if classical training was provided in a way that, it didn't restrict you, and it didn't limit you, like in the way it was being taught, then things would have. Yeah, because classical music has so much to give you.
Let's talk about it. Tell me what is it so suppressive about the way that classical music is being has been taught to you, specifically in your life?
Like when you finish, for example, a piece, then you have to go to the next one and to the next one, and you're just reading notes, and it's just that. You're not interpreting anything. You do not know why the composer wrote this. You know nothing about the composer. You're just given a piece of music, and you're just like, okay, these are the notes, you have to get them right.
And you're just scratching the surface. You're not going as deep as you could.
But music, it doesn't matter, like in which time period, because music always was trying to express something.
Yes.
And music is a universal language. So if they were trying to just show, at least to me, the way that the composers back then were trying to say something through their music,
it would be much more motivational for you. Yeah. It would make sense why I should practice so much and do all the things that you need me to do.
There's
because
this
I need to get
why
to the emotional state that I need to get, the pain behind these notes or anything.
And when I used to ask, they would tell me like, because you've got the exams. And it's like, is this the reason I'm practicing the exams? No.
That's also very, very up to the person that is teaching the music. So, με όποιο δάσκαλο καθίσεις, τέτοια γράμματα θα μάθεις. Which teacher you have, that's all you're gonna reach. So, teacher is a great. If you want to be great, you have to have a great teacher also. The kind of teacher that you have is the kind of pianist or musician you're gonna be.
Yeah.
So So you really felt this in your skin, and also not only from the conservatory, but from the private teacher.
Yeah, but it was very very strange that despite of all these difficulties, I wanted to pursue music in a professional way. So
Why is that? Why
I
is that?
don't
I want to know
know.
why.
It's like
You
I
know,
don't know.
it's a
It was
deeper
just
thing.
yeah.
It's a drive.
I think it's just me. You know,
Yeah.
I was a good student, and I know that I could choose a more conservative profession and socially more acceptable, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I
I
know this.
know that I would be good at it because I'm very focused, but I wouldn't be happy.
There you go.
So my answer is this is what makes me happy. And I just knew.
This is huge. You're just touching a very, very hot topic. To just stick to what you're good at and be miserable and be safe,
Mm.
or just take the risk of being open and take the leap of faith and pursue what you love and what makes you happy and what lights you up.
Because chances are that even if I choose, if I had chosen back then a
Yeah.
field that was more, safe and that kind of stuff, um,
Yeah.
I believe that at some point I would have failed. Like, it's inevitable. No matter what you do and no matter how great you are, you will deal with failure. So if I have to deal with failure at some point, then at least let me deal with it in a field that I love,
Yes.
so I can persist.
W- What is failure to you? Do you think failure is a real thing, or it's just something that people label? Is it
Yeah,
real?
I believe that it is just information. Like, for example, what we consider failure might be like not reaching the goal. But
Yeah.
if we just deal with failure in a way that, it's just information, and you're just provided with information about why you didn't reach your goal at this point,
Yes.
then it's just information. It's just, an assistance to help you move forward.
Is there really a failure when you are a dedicated person to its goal? Like when you've set a goal and you don't get it the first time, and like
It's
it's
not a
supposed to be called a
failure, but
failure.
you might. But
Yeah.
at that point, everyone might feel this way. Might feel like
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't make it. I didn't. I wasn't good enough. And this is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. I didn't make it. I wasn't good enough. Ooh. These are big statements, and we are brainwashed to think that way. This is the what is out there. If you like, we've been educated to think like that from other people, and this, my take on this is to be very conscious right now. The more I grow, the more I become conscious of what these kind of beliefs that I have been exposed to in the young age are, and how I can take them away and just free myself from that and take that load off and become more free, closer to my truth, just what you just said before. And in that way, I can also serve other people in a better way, because I am more of myself. I'm not identifying myself anymore with these limiting beliefs that kept me limited. Just overcoming those things, and it's really important. And that's also one of the things that I love about my life, and about these possibilities that are out there. We can do great things. So you studied you studied for a few years with a private teacher, and then what? You went to the book. How did that transition happen? Like from the music to the book? It's just another mean to express your truth. The book.
No, it was actually when I was 16. Again, back in the island of Crete, there was a musician that like everyone in the island trusted, but and he told me back then that you're nothing special. You're not good enough, and
Okay.
you're
Okay,
you're
great.
never gonna make it. So you might as well do something else. And I was like, yeah, and I didn't believe it, but because my family didn't have any musical background, I couldn't convince them. So I had to take the Panhellenic exams and get into the university, which was it was a big pressure for me, and I had decided that like for a year or so until I get into the University of Athens, the Economic University of Athens, and I'm able to pursue my goal, my real goal. I'm not going to sing or play the piano for a year. It's like it was something sacred to me, and I didn't want to pollute it, if it makes any sense, with my psychology, which back then wasn't. It was
The best.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
at a really bad state,
Okay.
and so in this time period, from 17 to 18, while I was preparing for the Panhellenic exams, I needed to express myself some way, and because I had decided that okay, you're not going to play any music. I was even trying not to listen to music because it had such an effect on me. Like it was like dealing
How,
with one.
how do you view this experience with the pause from music now? Because it's really strange to me. I don't get it.
It was something. It was something so special and important to me.
Music.
Yeah, that I had because of this music teacher that has told me that you're never gonna make it and you can't continue and you can't pursue it and that kind of stuff. I just felt that I was going to pollute my music trying to convince my surroundings that I was good enough. And I didn't want to do that. It's like I knew inside me that this is what I want to do and this is what I'll do, no matter what anyone else says. So
Yes.
I
I'm just
want to
gonna
do
take
it.
a break.
No, I just want to do it. I just want to give my best self. And at that point, I knew that I was just going to give a self that was expected from everyone else, but it wasn't me.
Yeah. Okay. So you stopped music because you didn't want to feed this fake self that everybody
Exactly.
else wanted you to be. That's interesting. You see how powerful beliefs of other people have in our lives. It's so interesting. Yeah, and
But then I was
we're in. Yeah.
But then I was very lucky because when I came to Athens, I studied with a teacher who immediately believed in me, and he had graduated from Berkeley. So it was like huge from getting from one teacher who said like you're never gonna make it
Disbelief.
to a Berkeley
Super.
graduate who says
Yeah.
let's do it.
That's what you needed. Yeah. Paw. This is so powerful. And and you really felt like you could fly. I bet.
Yeah, and I did.
When you had this
Like
vision.
everything I've done, up to this point, it's because I had the wings when I needed them, and this teacher gave me the wings that I needed.
Yes, yes. That's so important. When did you knew that music is your path? Was it in an early age or was it later?
Always.
Always. This is amazing. I love this kind of people that knew always. You know, this is me. Come on. Yeah. This to me is an indication of how powerful is their connection with their truth, because that's what it is. It's our truth, and when we trust, we are connected with that love and with that protection that gives us the choice to follow what we feel in our heart is the truth and is the right thing to do. So I'm so happy I met you, you know, all that good because I'm all about that too. So you met probably this teacher in Athens, and he told you you should do the Berkeley online, I think, right?
No, actually, I was accepted in the Boston campus initially.
Okay.
And in other 4 universities in the UK. One of them was in London, but because at that time I could not afford Berkeley because some issues had occurred and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I suspended my studies. I didn't decline the offer. I just suspended my studies for a year to see what I can do, if I can find, any scholarships or whatever. And but because I did not want to lose any time, I moved to London and I accepted the offer of another university.
Yes. Time is valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to London and I started studying there, but I was.
When was
I
that?
I was not. It was 2019.
Okay.
But I was not
Satisfied. Yeah.
satisfied with the level
Yeah.
of
You
instruction.
told me that.
Yeah. So I was very fortunate. I had been introduced to someone who is very successful and actually works in the music industry and in great big movies and that kind of stuff, and in the Abbey Road. And I told him back then that I don't know what to do. And he told me, you know what, I had left the university. I was like, yeah, but can you actually work if you do not have a degree? And he was like, yes, see me. And this didn't just feel right for me. I wanted to continue my education because I believe that education is a real weapon.
Talking about education, yes.
Yeah, so I contacted again the person who had auditioned me from Berkeley. And I told him, you know what, I'm not satisfied with the level here and I've suspended my studies, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it to come to Boston.
Yeah.
And he told me, while we were, I had been accepted the first time in a vocal performance.
Okay.
But while we were talking with this person who auditioned me from Berkeley, he was like, "You've realized that you're asking more composition in your degree." I was like, "No, I haven't."
Yeah.
Because
It's a big.
I was always searching for more composition classes.
Yeah.
And he told me, you know what, we offer through Berkeley Online a professional certificate. So if you want, you can start this until you figure out what you're going to do and if you can make it to come to Boston or whatever. And after I completed the professional certificate in music composition for film and TV, I realized that this is my love. So I moved to the online degree, and here we are.
Yeah. That's so interesting to see your life through your eyes. All these years from the beginning, where it was just a dream, and through other people's opinions on how you should be. It's just big. It's really, you have to be very determined, right? To go through all that, because it's not one event and you're done. That is discouraging you. Discouraging you. It's lots of things, one after the other, very often. And I think that's one of the factors that are common in people that are successful at what they do. They are determined as fuck, to say it with the best way. So what are some of your goals now that you are at this point of your life? What are some of your plans? And you know what they say, a dream without a plan is just a dream. So that's why I'm bringing it up to you with what are your goals and how do you aim to make it a reality?
So I've got many goals, but to sum them all up is I just want to keep on constantly, develop myself in every way possible. In my professional life, in my personal life, in every way possible. And I believe that because of these, I can make myself happy.
Yes. It's much easier to be happy when you are evolving than when you are just remaining the same. It's so difficult. Just have the same things over and over. It's impossible. Almost. Wow. So do you have what are some of the highlights of your work that you're very proud of? Have you I bet you have done for movies or like theatrical plays or something. Have you written music about films? I really have no idea what you've done.
So we back in 2021, it was the first time that I actually got my music performed by a symphony orchestra back in Spain, in Madrid. And this is one of the highlights, I guess, for sure. Then in 2022, just 1 year back.
Tell me about this more. I want to know. It's a dream. Who is a musician and a composer and doesn't have this dream to have his music played by an orchestra? Tell me one.
I don't know.
So how did this happen?
So there was a program in Spain, and the head of the program listened to my music, and he thought I was good enough to give me a scholarship and to make me the ambassador of this summer program, which had as a highlight to record your music with a radio symphony orchestra of Madrid, of Spain. Yeah.
But how did your music arrive to the head of the orchestra? In what way?
No, it wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't the head of the orchestra. He was.
The head of.
He was just the head of the program.
Okay. And how did your music arrive to him, to his ears, and all this information about you? Did you send, like, you had a strategy, or did it happen by accident? There's no accidents, but you know what I mean.
We just contacted, like we talked via LinkedIn, and I had asked him for some feedback on something, and then he was like, "Oh, I really love what you're doing, and we have this program. And we want to offer you the scholarship. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Yeah."
So LinkedIn connection, social media.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There you go. You see, guys, I'm obsessed with talking about this, the power of social media. It's the same thing that happened to me with Universal. That's how I signed with Universal, through social media. Put yourself out there. If you're a creator and you're a musician or a videographer or a traveler or anything, just create content, your type of thing that you are obsessed and like and love, and people will come to you. And you also have to go to people to just share your content, and you will attract the right people for you, just with patience and consistency. That's what you said. That's so beautiful, Domina. I'm thinking about it all the time, and that's why you see me posting every day, even now that I supposedly made it with this record deal. Yeah. Post every day, guys. Yeah. So yeah. So you have to give us something. That are you planning to release any kind of music now? Anything you want to tease us with?
I can tease you with let me think. So if you go to my profile, you can see that a couple of days ago, one of my tracks, which isn't published yet, was chosen by the Soundtrack Awards. The Cannes. And among 1,780 something, my track was chosen within the final 213 and was put into a playlist. So if you go to my profile, you can see a highlight where it says Cannes Soundtrack Awards, and I put the link in there. So yeah.
Congrats. How did you get your music to be heard through that? Did you pitch it in some way?
So it was. I just saw it. I think it was being advertised. I do not remember where I saw it. So I was
crazy.
Like, I've got nothing to lose. The worst thing that can happen is that they don't choose me. So what?
You had the track, you had the track ready, or did you create the track?
No. It was right. It was a track that is unpublished yet.
And you have you published any music of your own yet?
No, yes. It's not. But very, very soon you'll just stay tuned.
Great, yes. And you are independent, or you haven't signed to any label? We don't know anything about.
I can't say anything yet.
Great. That means you are signing somewhere.
No, shh.
No, I'm just. Yeah, you know what I'm doing. So that this is very exciting. I'm so happy that we're learning this here. You heard it first on the journey of becoming a musician. New music coming from Domina. Uh, what else? Is this something that you had in mind that you really wanted to talk about with me here, and we haven't talked about it yet? If so, just go ahead and tell me.
I don't have anything specific in mind. Like, you are the host, so go ahead and ask whatever.
Yeah, the thing is that the thing that I really calculate in my mind when I'm asking questions is the feeling that I have the moment that I speak to the guest. And the feeling that I have right now is very warm and very, very sweet. And I'm very satisfied with our conversation and how your story can help other people to just be themselves through your example. This is, for me, the most powerful thing a man or a woman can do, to be true to himself or herself. And that way, your example can shine bright and show the way to other people to do the same for themselves. This is one of the highest forms of service to humanity and to people. So, yeah, on behalf of the listeners, thank you for being yourself. Thank you for doing that. I'm very grateful. What else? Yes, something that I always ask and I'm very interested in knowing from my guests is the habits, the type of habits that you have, because as we know, we first make our habits and then our habits makes us. So for me, it's one of the most important things to have healthy habits that keep you productive, that keep you energized. So with that in mind, what are your habits and how do you stay energized and motivated to do what you love? Do you have any kind of habits, or you just out in the blue and it just...
There are some periods that I might be working and I might be constantly do something, and then I just need a change. I just try to listen to different types of music, to go to different places when I can.
But I'm talking specifically more from a day-to-day basis. What are your rituals? Like, do you have any kind of rituals?
No.
So, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Let me put it that way.
Drink coffee. I can't survive.
Okay. But first, coffee.
Yeah, this is like a must for me.
Okay. Any coffee lovers in the house? Just put a comment. And you guys, cheers if you're listening on Spotify.
Yeah,
so what's next? What do you do next?
It always depends on the day. Like, if I have a ritual, it's like that. Every day, towards the end of the day, I'm writing down a list of things I have to do the next day. And so everything depends on the plan of the next day. One day might be, to go to the gym, to go to physiotherapy, like today, because my hand doesn't work. To study, to...
So you're organizing.
Yeah, I'm very organized.
That's key. Success is nothing but a set of habits. Organization is one of them. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. That's what they say. It's so powerful. So you guys know what to do. Get your organizers and organize. Put a plan and execute. So you're also working out. Yeah, that's also another factor.
That's the thing that for some, for
Sorry to
some,
interrupt you. Danai is commenting, in my veins there is mainly cappuccino.
oh yeah,
So I
double
totally relate.
espresso.
And do you drink your espresso no sugar?
Black.
Just
Yeah, no sugar. No
pop
sugar.
of a psycho.
Yeah, I know. And it's like
100%.
the most dangerous thing about this is that some days I'm so very tired even after I've drunk my espresso. So it's like, something's bad.
Yeah. I've heard that coffee, if you drink coffee, and I know a lot of people will hate me for that, it's not good for your health. So
yeah,
I
okay.
never drink
I'll
coffee.
die anyways, so
Let it be from coffee.
yeah. If I have to die from something, I'm not smoking, so
That's a good habit, not to smoke. That's also a habit, that's a healthy one. I don't know if people know, but I used to smoke and I quit. I used to smoke like 7 years and I quit, and I feel so much better. Oh my God, guys. This is it. The ancient Greek philosophers have said it. Greatness is habit. It's habitual. And something else. By the time you're 33, woman or man, 90%, 95% of your thoughts and emotions are subconscious. That means are automatic, that they are automatic. So that's why I insist so much with habits, with healthy habits, because you become what you think and what you feel. So it's very important to think good thoughts that produce a good feeling, and that creates the texture of your experience in life, the thoughts and the feelings. Yeah. What you say? Someone is commenting. There is this saying: if you stop drinking coffee today, you lose 80% of your will to live by tomorrow. But yeah, if you attach your will to live to something external, this can never be good. This can never be good.
no, it's not. It's not. I'm not taking any philosophical turn on this conversation. It's just in order to wake up and be productive, I have to have coffee first.
I respect that. I really respect that. I used to drink coffee too. I cannot lie. All right. So you have good habits. Do you, when you work, do you take breaks, or do you just work?
No, that's the thing, that when I decide to really work and concentrate, I just do it because I know that if I take any break, then I will be out of focus. This is something that actually John Lennon had said, that for example, when you're trying to write a song, do not move before you finish it, because otherwise you'll never finish it.
That's very interesting. I totally disagree in a way.
Really?
In another way, and another part of me agrees with the Lennon. You know why? Because I'm going to talk about both. Because when you are working until something gets out, you kind of beat yourself up. You're not letting space to breathe. If you are sitting like 3 hours constantly, non-stop, it's not. You feel exhausted after that. And what I do to just allow things to breathe is every 25 minutes. This is scientific facts. Every 25 minutes, if you work for 25 minutes, your brain's performance is reaching at a peak and then it drops. So if you only take 5 minutes of break, not going through your phone and scrolling on social media, but just breathing and closing your eyes, I very often meditate. It can really boost your performance and help you come back even better than before. So that's one way. But I very often I felt the need and the magnetism of the music that I am creating, and the idea to stay until everything that I have about the thing that I'm creating is out of me, and to just finish it. So it's also a struggle for me, just to balance those things.
It's
what do
for
you
example,
think?
I sit down and I deal with it as if I'm giving my best self to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then, when I feel like I have nothing more to give, I just leave it, and I might come back to it the next day with fresh ears and listen to it again and do some changes and that kind of stuff. But
work, yeah.
I totally believe that persistence in this, at least for me, it really works.
Yeah.
Because this is when you think that you've got nothing else to give, you have. At least I have. When I feel like, I'm tired now, I'm just gonna, stop for a while. No, because now I'm in the mood. Now I'm concentrated, so I can give more.
You're in the zone. Yeah. It makes sense. It really makes sense. Very often, this voice that says you are empty, we confuse this voice as our voice, as ourselves. And this little voice, is the mind, which is trying to get you stop and be lazy and be less than who you are. So it's so interesting that you're noticing that. Yeah, it's very often all about overcoming that voice in our head that says you don't have anything else to give, and just keep going, dig deeper. Yeah. What if I remember the question that I'm asking sometimes. It's a funny one. If you were a fruit, what kind of fruit would you be?
I don't know.
I love this.
I change. Like, for example, I might be obsessed for a period with apple or with a banana or whatever, and then
No, I'm asking what kind of fruit would you be?
Yeah. I'm telling you that, for example, I can't decide for a specific fruit because
okay.
Because it's not like I have a favorite one that I can pick and say I'm gonna be an apple or something. No, I for a certain period I might feel like an apple or whatever, and then a banana might be a best fit for me.
Why is that? Why would you be? No, why would you be like an apple? I give you an example to just get a better understanding of that. Someone that I asked before told me that he's a pineapple. He's hard on the outside and sweet and soft on the inside. What about the apple? What makes you, identify as an apple? If you can say something like that.
Well,
you can skip the question if you want.
Yeah, let's keep it.
All right. Yeah, just to bring the laugh. Oh man, I feel so great. Thank you so much for spending this afternoon with me and sharing your story. This is a blessing, really. It's already been an hour and I didn't realize. That's also a great indication. But but yeah, I don't think I have anything else at the moment to ask you. So if you agree, I would like to wrap this up, and possibly. So you live in Athens, right? Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to meet you in person when I visit Athens, and talk with you in person. That would be great, you know. And there is also a piano at Niarchos, you know.
I know.
It just opened 1 month ago, the grand piano, and we could go there and just play and vibe. That would be awesome. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, if you want to play me something, go ahead. But I like to practice in private, if it makes any sense. Unless
Yeah.
I have something to show.
Yeah, definitely. I would
Yeah.
love to hear some of your music unreleased when we're together. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. You guys, thank you so much for being here. It was another episode live here on Instagram and on Spotify, whoever who is listening. Thank you so much for listening and being here with us. I'm grateful to Domina for also being here, sharing her story. Once again, thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I can't wait for you guys to see the videos that I'm preparing. I'm gonna post some of the highlights on Instagram as a reel, and as I said, you can find this interview and podcast on Spotify. There's a link in my bio. If you're not following me, please follow me. Go to my profile, and also if you're not following Domina, please do so. We got lots of works in the making, so you want to follow us if you like this vibe here, and yeah, just stay hungry, you guys. Like Domina, keep growing. That's what she said, and share your truth, and everything will be just fine. That's all from me. With love, I appreciate you. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Domina. Take care. We'll talk soon.